Hey, sales team. Next video, how to build a prospecting list and develop your initial sales prospecting approach. If you don't have anybody to sell to, you're not going to make any sales. Sounds kind of like a stupid thing to say, but it's true. A salesperson's largest frustration comes with not having enough businesses, people to talk to. It's called a pipeline. You fill your pipeline full of prospects, you've always got activity, and you will turn those prospects into sales. We live in a world of no. Most people you approach are not going to advertise. That's just the way of it works. It's advertising since cavemen were advertising the first cave to sale. That it takes lots of accounts in your pipeline to develop the sales you want. And you guys are all going to have goals that are increasing on a regular basis to build your business, and you guys want to make money. The only way to do it is to have a good volume of sales, and the only way to do that is to talk to lots of people and get them in your pipeline. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First, forget your list. Every single salesperson that comes on board in Joy has a list. They got these people they went to high school with. They've got this pizza parlor that they have their baseball team have their award ceremony at. They've got their doctor they go to. They've got their salon, their nail salon, their clothing store, their grocery store. Everybody's got it. You're going to build your business on people you have yet to meet. That's the way this works. The most difficult part of sales is finding those people. People that advertise are readily visible in the community because, well, they advertise. And those people, approach them with Enjoy Magazine, and your prospect will grow. Your prospect list will grow quickly. Your pipeline will grow quickly by finding those people. So how do you do that? This is what I've done forever, and it works. You find other people that are advertising in the community. They are in print. They have website ads, or they advertise on social media pages, paid ads. People that only social media advertise without paying a dime, different story. Billboard advertisers, local TV commercials, especially the morning and nightly news. Those are the highest viewed, highest costing TV and radio ad spots. Local radio, especially in our town, Q97 and K Shasta 104, probably the largest. Q97 is the biggest, most listened to station in the area. So you listen to the station while you're out and about in your car at home and you're working in your office, and when the commercials come on, you actually listen to the commercials and write down who's advertising so you can approach them. And I'll show you about an approach in a minute. If you're in a theater screen ads, back of store receipts. I mean, there's ways to find advertisers. Once you're open, you got your eyes open. I've learned to pick up anything that has an ad on it. There's a lot less publications now in our area. North State Parent, Joyful Living Magazine, Senior Living Magazine, Enjoy Magazine, The Date, and the Record Searchlight is actually starting to get more ads again. They went for a while where there was nothing in there. There's a few people that are advertising there again, but you just start picking these things up. So look and listen and watch for people that advertise. You do not have time to educate people on why they should advertise. We have had many conversations and Enjoy. A business will pop into the mind of somebody. They really need to advertise and Enjoy. And of course, the answer is yes, they do. Do they advertise? Do they advertise anywhere? Do they believe in advertising? I personally have learned that it is a waste of my time to approach people like that, to educate them on why they should advertise, especially if they're an established business, because they have decided a long time ago they don't need to, they don't want to, and they won't. So I could spend 2 hours talking to people like that, or I could spend 2 hours finding people that do. If you find businesses, practices, all the different people that advertise, that are advertising, you already know that they get it. They understand that they need to advertise and are willing to spend money doing so. Those are your targets. If you want a project and are bored, go talk to somebody that never has placed an ad in the existence of their business. And you're going to walk away most of the time with the same result. Once in a while, there's a breakthrough. There's always a miracle out there. My suggestion is you don't engage in that kind of activity. So here's your approach. Once you have your list of prospects, your basic approach is to visit the business, walk in the door. And I get we're a digital society now. Walking in the door actually sets you apart. Actually, a phone call sets you apart now. But walk in the door. And this is what you say. I understand you are advertising locally. I stopped by to introduce you to Enjoy Magazine as a potential marketing vehicle for you and your business, practice, service, because you're walking in a Betty's Beauty Box or walking into Dewey, Cheatham and Howe lawyers, or you're walking into Shasta County Health and Human Services, as a service type of thing. All these types of people that advertise. Are you the person that markets your business, practice, service? So if you're walking into Dandelion, are you the person that markets for Dandelion? Always assume that the first person you meet is the owner or marketer, even if it's obvious they're not. If you assume they're not, you're taking a chance you're going to offend somebody. If you assume they are, you've uplifted somebody. It could be a teenager working the desk. Are you the guy? Are you the owner? Are you the one that does marketing? And they'll tell you yes or no. No, most of the time, no, I don't, but this is who does, and here's their information, and give them a call, and here's their phone number, and here's their email address, and here's how to get a hold of them. The other thing that'll happen is once you walk in and tell them you're with Enjoy Magazine, 9 times out of 10, the room lifts. People are excited. Oh, I love Enjoy Magazine. I've advertised in there before. My sister was on the cover. My dentist is in there every month. I read an article the other day on a church person that goes to my church. There's a story from everybody. They love the magazine and what it represents. So you're always going to have basically a warm call. And that, another term, if you're not familiar with that, warm call, cold call. Cold is when they don't know you're coming and they probably have no interest in what you want. A warm call is one where there's some interest you already know ahead of time. You're creating warmth by approaching people that already advertise. So when you walk in and say, I understand that you're advertising locally, there's nothing they can say to you about, I don't advertise. I don't spend any money on marketing. Yes, you do. I found your ad. So they can't say that. You've already diffused that objection. And then all I'm doing is introducing you to another vehicle. Since you've decided you advertise, look at Enjoy Magazine. What kind of reach can you get by being in the best marketing vehicle in the North State, basically, is what you're saying. So that's the kind of conversation you're having. If the person you meet indicates they are indeed the marketer, determine if they have time to talk right now. If they don't, ask them if a later time would be appropriate. If they don't want to do that, get their email information and say, okay, sweet, I'm going to send you some information. And then we'll communicate over email or text if that's okay. And you grab a business card of theirs. Nowadays, there's a lot of people with digital business cards, but grab something with their information, get their name, cell phone number, email address. And you're basically taking a stand. You're not taking no for an answer. You're doing a not yet, all in a not high pressure way. We're not high pressuring this at all, but you are adding them to the pipeline unless they tell you for some reason, I'm going out of business, or, my spouse just passed away and I don't know what I'm going to do, or I just got out of the hospital, some crazy thing that precludes you from continuing. Take that message, make a note to come back in 6 months, whatever. And that's another thing people will tell you, I'm not ready right now, but in 6 months is my high season and I would be interested in looking at it then. Make a note that you can find in 6 months to prompt you to go back into that account. And you start by, hey, I met you 6 months ago. You asked me, I presented Enjoy. You asked me to come back. I'm here. Are you ready? Basically is the tone of the underlying tone of that conversation. When you get to talk to the marketing decision maker, first thing is ask them about their marketing efforts. How often do you print advertise? How often do you advertise? What type of marketing works for you? Have you considered Enjoy in the past for marketing? Follow their lead, resist the puke and tell urge to unload everything that you must tell them about how awesome it is to advertise and Enjoy. It's one of the hugest sins salespeople make. You think that you have to go in and just barf all over them about how awesome Enjoy is without asking them one single question about whether they're even interested. So the idea is to create a discovery process where you're finding out about what their marketing needs are first. Then you get an opportunity to talk and present. Open your ears, close your mouth. You know, the old God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth because it's twice as important to listen as to speak. So you get them talking about them, which is always a good idea. If you're at a party and you want to be the hit of the party, ask people about them and don't say anything about yourself. That works with sales also. Enjoy is usually a great answer to whatever they're working to accomplish. Enjoy reaches nearly every target audience a business has. If the person you want or need to see is not available, again, secure their business card, contact information, and leave the following behind: a copy of the current issue. The beauty of Enjoy, we have a new issue every single month. You have 12 reasons to go see an account every year. You can walk in every month. Hey, here's the new issue. Look at this. Here's an article about this. It relates to your business. Here's an article about weddings. You're a florist. It would have been, awesome if you'd advertised with us during that. Next time we do weddings, maybe we can get you to advertise. And then we also provide a list of what's going to be in the magazine from a content standpoint. If we know we're going to be doing an article on wedding floral arrangements, you can go around town and hit the florists in town to tell them, hey, we're going to be doing this article on wedding floral arrangements. Perhaps you want to place an ad, and we can place it right next to the article. So in our media kit, we have a why advertise flyer, we have a target market flyer, and then the rate sheet. Those are the 3 things in our media kit that I'll leave behind. I tuck them in the magazine, printed, because we're a print vehicle. Print those sheets out and your business card and leave it behind for whoever it is that does marketing, with the commitment to whoever you talk to that you'll follow up with them, unless they want to call you, which rarely happens, but sometimes it does. And speaking of follow-up, the fortune is in the follow-up. I could train my kids to drop magazines off. What they have the hardest time doing is following up with that, but that's where the fortune is. Follow-up is agreed upon with any meetings you have. Otherwise, prepare to send a follow-up email a few days later to those with whom you met, or to those whom you've got a business card. So you can go back to this slide here where it talks about where I showed that you grabbed a business card and left behind these 4 things. Next, in 3 days, you send an email. Hey, Ms. Whoever's on the business card, I was in your shop 3 days ago. I left behind some information. Do you have any questions? Is there any opportunity to talk to you about marketing and Enjoy, and let them respond? And then this is part, you've created with this particular prospect the cycle of sales that's either going to turn into an ad now, turn into an ad later, never turn into an ad, turn into a referral. I don't advertise, but my friend does. Go see them, that type of thing. But you only know and could find this information out by getting out there and going into these places physically, walking in the door. Back to this, I said this before, the beauty of selling a product produced monthly is that you have a new reason each month to reapproach a prospect. Keep going until they indicate they will advertise or they won't. You'll get the feel for anyone who's wasting your time and will never advertise. And if you want, you can go take yourself through some objection training on dealing with objections. And if people start telling you it costs too much, or I only advertise in the summer, I only advertise in the winter, or supply chain, or all the stuff that's going on, there's ways to whittle down those things if you can come up with answers to those. and they're still giving you objections. They're basically wanting to make a nice way to tell you no, they don't have the money to do it. And that's another dead end. If they tell you I'm broke, walk out, forget it. You do not want to place an ad for anybody who can't pay us. And if they're good enough to tell you up front they're broke, and then even then, you will develop a knack for determining what that means. Broke can mean they just don't want to spend any money on stuff that they don't think is cool enough to spend money on, because we all in our lives figured out how to pay for things that we didn't have the money for if we want them bad enough. If they want to be and enjoy bad enough, they'll move stuff around in their budget to pay for it. If they're truly broke, got no customers, and you can tell by looking around, turn right around and walk out with a, friendly, not just turn around and don't say anything, but go on to something else. And if you have enough prospects in your pipeline, that's fine. That feels okay. If you have 3 eggs you're sitting on that you're trying to hatch, 3 prospects, and one of them doesn't work out, you start panicking because you've only got 2 more. So to get rid of that whole sales anxiety, have a ton of prospects you're working on. So 1 or 2 that go away, it's not going to adversely affect your mentality. So continue to build your sheet, your prospects using these techniques. If you need any help, let me know. We can work on an approach, but the verbiage that I gave you works very well. It's straight to the point. You most of the time don't have to sell Enjoy because they already know what it is. We've been around for 16 years, but there are new people moving in, and there are people that don't know the magazine. Opportunity for you to let them know what it's all about. The best of success to you out there, and here's to you building a business that not only pays the bills, but develops a nice, solid income for you.